Hiyo people, you are watching Hit and Run Podcast, episode 6, recorded on Monday, May 21st, 2012. This is a video podcast where I, the Mr. Nep, talk about games, anime, and whatever I'm currently working on to upload to YouTube to my main channel.
I need that back.
So, as usual, I'd like to just start the show by thanking everyone that's here watching this, I'm always going to be thankful that somebody is here watching it, and it just makes me happy to know that somebody besides me is watching this video, because I always watch each video to make sure the video goes smoothly, so that there's no mistakes or anything. At least not major mistakes. Because, yeah, last episode was a nightmare. Oh boy, last episode caused so much headache. Which I suppose I can go into a little bit more detail than last time with that little preface at the very beginning. Basically, it was just that whenever I processed a video from my editing software to a video format, for some reason it caused complications. Like, you saw for yourself, the video turned black, you can still hear stuff, but there was no video to watch. And I don't really understand why that happened. But hopefully it doesn't happen again, because if it does, I'm going to have to start looking for a new software to use, because I don't want that to happen again. But as you can already tell from this week, you're watching some more Devil May Cry 3 footage, because I just have so much of it, I can easily make another part of with just that footage. So I'm just showing you a bunch of footage that I didn't show off last time, and also a little bit of the footage that you couldn't see that was in black, because just the video for some reason decided to not show anything for some reason. But yeah, there's the footage for you, so enjoy that. But besides that, I think we can start getting into the show. There's not a lot that I did this week. Like, really the most notable thing was watching the Avengers movie, which I'll get more into that in a little bit. But besides that, like, there's a decent amount of news this week, although most of it's going to be breezed real quickly. So this show should definitely be a lot shorter than it was last week, because, oh boy, that show went on forever. There's just so much to cover, but this time not so much. So yeah, let's just dive right on and start. So basically the only real thing happened to me was two things that happened this week. First off, just like last week, I had some more credit card issues with websites, and this time it was with the website Right Stuff, which actually things went a lot smoother than the way PlayAsia handled things, which I'm really happy for. But yeah, with Right Stuff, what happened was I ended up getting an email in the morning saying how my credit card information was expired when they tried to charge my out-of-date credit card, even though I updated it. They decided to use the one that was out of date, and so I had to get this cleared up, and basically I just shot them an email, and within 2 hours after I shot that email, done. Like, there was nothing left to do. They sent me back a reply saying, okay, we've done it, we've updated it for your order, and yeah, enjoy, basically. Although something to note is the way that Right Stuff handles like multiple orders, because I have like a whole bunch of stuff on pre-order right now, and the way Right Stuff handles the multiple pre-orders is actually by bundling up different orders together, because if I have like order number 1 and order number 2 has like an item that comes out next week, they're gonna bundle both of them. Even though they're separate orders, they're gonna bundle both of them as one order and then ship it out, which that's basically how they handle things, which is why I had like multiple different parts. I had actually 2 different emails shooting me saying that my credit card was expired because they were charging from different orders, but they were out of date orders either way, and so that's what actually ended up happening. But yeah, just one email corrected all of that mistakes. Like, there was actually like 3 different orders that they ended up sending me, but they only sent me 2 emails because they already caught on by the time the second one already came, so that made things a lot easier. And yeah, it was a very simple process. I really liked how simple it was, and it really makes me like going there to shop, because they're pretty good prices usually, although sometimes like when like Amazon has sales, sometimes they get beat in terms of prices. But like Right Stuff, I really enjoy shopping there because I like the service, and it just makes things a whole lot easier, and they're pretty cheap. And also the best part is that basically they regularly break the street date for orders. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, just from my order just now, I received some pre-order stuff that's not even supposed to come out until the 29th, but I already been having it for since Saturday, so I've actually been having it earlier than I'm supposed to, and that's what they do on a regular basis, so I really do enjoy pre-ordering from them because they'll give me stuff early. I guess pretty much I think as soon as they get it, they just ship it out to everyone. So yeah, it's very much a good place to go to. You know, it's typically affordable prices for the most part. Sometimes I do see their prices beaten, but not always. This is a general judge of pricing. It's usually around a good price. I don't never really feel ripped off for the most part from them, and so yeah, I just enjoy from their website purchasing anime because it's just a good site. And before I get to the meat of what I've been doing this week, which is watching the Avengers movie, I do need to add a little note before that. You see, this week I saw the Avengers movie, yeah, and that's because of a bet I made with a friend of mine. Basically, I wanted to go watch Men in Black 3, which is coming out next week, and he wanted to watch the Avengers movie, and we basically made an agreement where basically, if I go watch the Avengers movie with him, then he'll watch the Men in Black 3 movie. And so basically it was just an exchange of I watch what I want to watch, he watches what he want to watch, and basically I have to suffer through the Avengers movie, he has to suffer through the Men in Black 3 movie because he already doesn't like it. Like he really wasn't a fan of Men in Black series, so yeah. And I am not a fan of the Avengers movie because of well, there are several things going wrong with it. Oh boy, where do I begin? Oh, where do I begin? Like, basically just the idea of the Avengers without a Spider-Man or X-Men or Miss Marvel, Fantastic Four, just anybody, really, anybody I care about, just an Avengers movie without anybody I care about, just, that was already a bad beginning from the start. Oh man, it's just, oh, they went wrong on so many different levels with this movie. Just, yeah, spoilers, the movie was terrible. Oh boy, I had bad expectations going in, and they were worse by the time I left the theaters. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna try and like dissect parts here and there. So basically, the idea of having an Avengers movie without some of the more better known superheroes was kind of a bad idea. Like, for having two of them that were basically nobodies, you know, that was already a bad start with Black Widow and Hawkeye, because as far as I'm concerned, they're nobodies because they couldn't even sustain their own movie. They had to show up in other people's movie, and that's basically them for there. There's two characters right there, like already off to a bad start. And then I never really was much of a Hulk fan. I did watch the cartoon when it was on, but it never really was a high priority whenever I did watch it. But I am familiar with the Hulk and everything. It's just I never really liked him as a character, and in this movie he's still not a good character. So Bruce Banner was great, but the Hulk he was never really worth even watching. So just, yeah, like that was just bad from the start. And then Thor is always a good idea because, you know, I do enjoy Norse mythology, so I thought, you know, him being there was good, but they basically mentioned nothing of the mythology itself. So like, as a nerd, like, I just they kept it simple basically, so that's a good thing in a way, but at the same time it's like, yeah, as a nerd I just didn't really like that, so it just made things not as enjoyable. And then I mentioned before last week I didn't like the Captain America movie, and it pretty much stays throughout. So yeah, having Captain America in a movie, I know that he has to be the leader, he has to be there, so I know he has to exist, so I really am not really discrediting him from that. I just personally didn't like the movie, and really the character just kind of goes to show that just like he has to exist, but I'm not enjoying that he's there. So even though I know he has to be there, I didn't enjoy that. And of course, Iron Man I did love. Like, I watched both his movies, I enjoyed them. I own Part 2, and just, yeah, I have nothing against him. He's great, you know, the actor is great, just the character is great. I love Iron Man, so, you know, that was good stuff. Like, that was basically the only good part, the only good character of the Avenger cast, and just, oh boy, from this train wreck, just, oh god, he was a saving grace, basically. Because, basically, to summarize the movie, boom, 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 the end. Like, really, that's the biggest problem I have with all these Marvel movies. Like, they're flashy with no substance. That's their greatest weakness. They're just one boom to the next boom to the next boom, and there you go, there's your credits, enjoy. Like, really, that's it. That's the biggest problem, and that was the most blatant in this movie. Like, just having basically no plot, no substance, like, just barely anything to connect these boom scenes to the next boom scene and to the next person that nobody cares about, that doesn't even have a name, that they died. Just it was a train wreck. And rather than have substance in the movie, they just put in really unfitting humor, which just got annoying really fast, and it was ridiculous just sometimes, because it wasn't enjoyable humor. That was the problem. It was humor that was there that I was facepalming. I didn't think it was fitting. I thought people were being out of character. I wasn't laughing. I wasn't enjoying it. I was just wanting to skip to the next scene, because, like, the biggest problem, another problem with the movie was that this was basically a 2-hour movie that could be condensed into like 40 minutes or less. Like, the actual part of the story, it's like less than 40 minutes worth of the movie itself. So really, it's just one action scene to the next. Like, that's really the core of the movie. And so it was terrible to watch. It was painful. I wanted to skip to the next scene, but the next scene was just going to be another action scene, and just no substance. That's the biggest problem I have with the movie. There was nothing worth watching for. Like, the best characters aren't even there. Like, Spider-Man would have been great. Like I mentioned before, Spider-Man's like my favorite Marvel hero. And to have him not there just because of a movie license, like, that's ridiculous. Why'd you even put out the movie if he's not going to be there? You know, he was always a great character. He always had depth. He always had skills. You know, he has all these abilities. The web, the strength, the spider sense, you know, his witty remarks. He's a great character. He would have been perfect for this movie. And the biggest slap in the face was that most of the conflict took place in Spider-Man's home, like in New York, right there where he lives. That's the biggest slap in the face right there. You know, like, where was he? Why didn't he join in? Like, why wasn't he there fighting with them? Oh, right, movie license. Yeah, that's all there is. Just movie license. That's all there is to it. And so, like, that's the greatest weakness with this movie. It's just the characters suck. Like, really, like, if the characters were better, I could have enjoyed it still, even though there was, like, barely any substance to the movie. It still would have been enjoyable. But really, like, Iron Man doesn't save the movie, and the others weren't good from the start, so that just hurts the movie even worse. And oh boy, this was a train wreck, basically. Really, the best part of the movie was the action scenes, and I'm not an action fan, like, I'm really not, so just that hurt the movie, basically. Like, the greatest point of the movie was something I don't care about. So I really can't praise this movie at all. Like, I can only discourage this as strong as I can, because it was terrible. Oh boy, this movie was painful, and I just ended up face-palming. Literally, I just face-palmed several times in the movie, because I was starting to crack, basically, because this movie was terrible. Oh boy. For fans of, like, action movies, then this is probably heaven for you, but, like, that's not me, so, like, that's the exact opposite. This is hell for me, so it was just painful to watch, basically. And I even also stick to the credits. Like, after the credits, there was a little bit of extra footage, and that was even worse. Like, I have to spoil this because it's like the worst idea ever. Do not watch past the credits. Like, once the credits start, leave the theater. Don't keep watching, because that was terrible. I can't believe I wasted so much of my time sitting through the credits just to... Oh boy, because basically what happened was, after the credits, you see all the Avengers just hanging out at a joint, eating food. That's it. I'm not even kidding, that's it. They're just there, they're silent, they're not saying anything, they're just munching, munch, 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 munch. looking at each other a little bit. Munch, 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 munch. Okay, that's it. See ya. Bye. Thanks for your money. Like, that's basically the end after the credits, and just, oh, I can't believe I wasted my time watching that. Like, I'm not even kidding. They say nothing. They do nothing. They're just eating. That wasn't funny. That wasn't entertaining. That wasn't enjoyable. That's just... Who the fuck thought that was a good idea? That was terrible. Oh, yeah, and Hulk wasn't there. It was Bruce Banner instead. I should probably put that out there as well. That's why they could calmly and silently munch together. Gotta film that munch, munch, munch. But just... Oh, boy. Train wreck from start to finish, basically. That's the best way to put it. Oh, boy. I think I've gone on enough. So... Next up would be what I've been playing and what I've been watching, but really I haven't done much of anything because, like I said earlier, that basically last episode was taking a long time to edit. I had problems and everything, and yeah, basically that gave me like 2 days to do whatever, and after all that stress, after all that editing, after all that retrying to get the video fixed and still fell at it, yeah, I was really stressed out, so I just didn't really play anything. I didn't really watch anything. I just took a breather, basically. I did play and watch stuff, but it wasn't much. And so, like, you know, if you want, as usual, I'll link to the logs so you can check my game log or an anime log if you want to. But really, there was not much, and I really didn't play enough of anything to even really comment on it, to really discuss it or anything. So I'm basically skipping both those sections this week because, again, I really didn't do much. And yeah, just that's basically it. And so now we're moving on to the news section of the show, where I basically talk about the game and anime news that I care about and discuss it briefly, because this week there's a healthy amount of gaming news and a little bit of anime news this time around. So yeah, let's just start hitting that. First up is that for gaming news, Pikmin 2 is coming to the US as a budget release title. Like, Europe has had this game for like about 2 years or so, and yeah, it's finally interesting that we're finally getting the game, because I didn't think it was going to be coming over, because of course I should probably preface this with saying that I'm talking about Pikmin 2 for the Wii, because yeah, Europe has had that for a few years. And I was wondering if we were ever going to get it, because I've always been mildly interested with the Pikmin games, and I've been wanting to give it a try, and so I was thinking Pikmin 2 would be a good starting point because of the lack of time limit, where Pikmin 1 gave you like 30 days and basically do everything in that time, and Pikmin 2 basically removed that, so I thought that would make it a good starting point. And that's basically why I've been interested in Pikmin 2 for the longest time, and to see that it's coming out, and not only that, it's going to be hitting budget release like right from the get-go, that's perfect. That's great, like that makes me really want to pick it up. So like at 20 bucks, yeah, I'm probably going to be picking that up. I'm not sure if I'll pick it up right away or wait a little bit, but you know, either way, at the 20 buck point, I'll be picking it up. It's just a question of how long after release when I pick it up, basically. And not only that, but Nintendo's actually slashing some of their prices for stuff. Like, I believe Super Smash Bros. Brawl is going to be hitting 30 bucks, and not only that, but the one that I'm really interested in is that Donkey Kong Country Returns is going to be hitting $30 as well. So like, that makes me really happy, because I haven't bought it yet, but I've been really interested in it, because you know, it's Donkey Kong. I love the platforming Donkey Kong, and I've always been interested in Donkey Kong Country Returns since it was announced. I just never picked it up, that was the thing. So having it at 30 bucks increases my want for it, basically. So I really want to pick it up, and once it actually hits the 30 bucks, I think it's about to hit 30 bucks, but it's not quite yet at the time of this recording. I'm actually not sure. I'm going to have to check after the recording, but yeah, I am going to be picking this up for sure. It's just, again, like Pikmin 2, it's a question of when, because, you know, these prices are great, but at the same time I have to consider other stuff coming out soon, because I'm about to get hit with a huge wave of stuff for the summer, because just, oh god, summer's just packed with games that I want, and I'm going to be picking up that I got pre-ordered and stuff like that. So yeah, I have to kind of ration my money, so I want these games for sure. It's just a question of whether I do it right away or wait until after the wave of games, basically. But yeah, even though I just started the news, I'm going to take a quick little break, because I've been going on long enough, and oh god, ranting about Avengers and how much it sucks just kind of left me tired, so I'm gonna be taking a quick little break, so I'll be right back. Of course, you guys won't notice a thing, but yeah, break time. And I'm back for the break. Alright, pressing onwards with the news. Next up is that Nippon Ichi is celebrating their 20th anniversary with some games. Like, there's 2 so far that they haven't even officially announced what they are yet, but one of the games that they're making is an RPG featuring the artist from Shining Force Feather, and like there's only like a single artwork picture right now that was revealed in Dengeki PlayStation Magazine. And besides that, there's really no other information. So, like, you know, besides it being a PlayStation title, there's no information whatsoever. And then not only that, but there's also another title that's not announced yet, that is being made for the Vita. Besides that, though, there's no information yet because it's not even announced yet, and they didn't even specify the genre, so it could be anything really. Because you know, they mostly do hardcore RPGs, but you know, they even did the Prinny games, which is a platformer. They even did Disgaea Infinite, which was pretty much a visual novel, and so there's really no saying what it's gonna be, basically. You know, they've done kooky stuff, so there's no saying what it can be. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up doing a third-person shooter or something. Like, I would not put it past them, and they would put a quirky, super quirky spin on it no matter what. So, yeah, whatever it is, it's probably going to be really quirky, very much shining with the Nippon Ichi flavor of their stuff. But besides that, there's nothing more to say because, again, they're not even announced, but it's basically they're making these games in celebration of their anniversary, so we should be able to hear some news on them soon, so that's a good thing. And so next up in news is that there's going to be a new upcoming Budokai Tenkaichi title for the PS3 and 360. It said that it's going to have the most characters in the series to date, which is quite a boast since they've had titles with really huge rosters before. And it is being slated for a winter release in Japan. But there's not only that, but it's also being said that this is going to be the final in the series. So yeah, that's the bigger news of this title, because of course, yeah, Budokai Tenkaichi, yeah, sure, okay, of course, there's going to be a Dragon Ball game, pretty much, you know, that's guaranteed, but they're saying that it's going to be the final in the series. That's the bigger part of the news, basically, because, you know, I've played my share of Budokai games. I've played a couple, I own one of them, and yeah, you know, the fact that this is going to be the final one basically makes me want to pick it up for sure, because sometimes I'm interested in them, but I don't ever really pick them up, except for that one Budokai I did pick up. So, yeah, this is another one that I really do want to pick up, and I don't want to ignore it. As long as, like, you know, they get the system right, you know, they don't do something dumb, then, yeah, I'll end up picking this up for sure. But besides that, there's really no more news regarding the Budokai game. So, moving on is that the upcoming PSP game Soul Trigger got delayed from its original August release to October 4th. The reason being is that retailers wanted Imagi to delay the release. Basically, the retailers felt that an August release was too crowded to release a new IP into the wild, because, you know, they were thinking it's going to get cannibalized and all that, and just, you know, they're interested in stocking the game. It's just, they really don't want the game to come out at that time, though. So, you know, Imagi basically had no choice but to obey, because, you know, it's the retailers. They really can't go against that. Although on the bright side of this news is that there will be a demo of the game that's going to be released in July. But that's basically it for the good news part of it. So, because, you know, that really sucks because it directly affects me since I pre-ordered the game already. So, you know, it kind of bums me out that I have to wait a little bit longer. So, yeah, that basically sucks. Alright, and then powering through, the next news is that the musical composer Nobuo Uematsu is working on the music of Neptunia V. No, seriously. Nobuo Uematsu. He's working on Neptunia V music. Let that sink in for a little bit. Yeah, that very much surprised me. I was not expecting somebody like him to get picked up to do the music for this game. Like, that is just definite shocker. That's just, yeah, wow. wow. Basically, yeah, just wow reaction basically. And of course the game is being released on August 30th in Japan. I'm still debating about importing the game. I'm pretty much leaning towards no at this point, mostly because the localization is such a sure thing that I'm kind of starting to think it's pointless unless it was the limited edition, which I screwed myself out of, so I can't even get that. So basically I'm starting to see less and less reason to import it, so I don't know if I'll pick it up anymore when it comes out in Japan. But moving on, next news is that there's an upcoming downloadable chess game hitting PS3 and the Vita soon, as in May 29th soon. Europe already has it though. Basically this is just a straight up chess game. There'll be some chess puzzles and such, but the meat of the game is gonna be playing someone else in a chess match. And sadly the game isn't gonna have online support, but the developers were actually suggesting doing like mail matches, which is kind of odd to say that for gaming people, but you know, in the world of chess this is not exactly like new to people, because you know, people do this in the world of chess and everything. I remember in my middle school chess club, we as a club ended up challenging this one guy on the internet, and we were doing emails for each of our moves so that we were playing slowly, basically each week we were making like one move, and that was basically it. And as a club basically we were deciding what move to make, and you know, like in the world of chess this is actually what I've seen before. Like, you know, this isn't exactly like a far-fetched idea, but for the gaming community, like, that's probably like a slap in the face. I can understand that, but as you know, coming from a background of chess playing before, I can understand the other side of the spectrum as well. So yeah, kind of sucks, kind of doesn't. So as long as this game isn't gonna be expensive, then I'll probably end up picking it up. Like if it's below $10, that's a definite pickup. If not, I'm gonna be hesitating. But besides that, we have next news that Japan's Consumer Affairs Agency has declared the Kampu Gacha model illegal, which, you know, this news is directly a follow-up to last week's news, so if you don't know what the Kampu Gacha model is, then just listen to last week's episode and you can get a pretty detailed briefing on the business model, so you can go there if you want to know what it is. But besides that, I'm just gonna kind of assume you already know. So, but besides that, like, this news was pretty quick response, because you know, GRI was gonna try and form this like set of guidelines, and you know, now it's just flat out being declared illegal, that you can't be doing this kind of business practice anymore. So this is gonna directly affect them, because you know, they had a big investment in this model, so it's definitely gonna hurt them for sure. And you know, they're probably screwed if they don't somehow get this decision reversed. Although there were companies like Bandai Namco and Konami who have already announced that they're dropping the business model altogether. So like, you know, this situation is getting interesting, because it's starting to affect Japanese companies and how they're going to be approaching this and everything. So this is turning out to be some pretty interesting news now. But that's basically the latest on that front. So moving on is that Sony of America registered the domain for Forsaken Souls, which seems to be like a localized version of Soul Sacrifice, which basically means I was totally wrong about it coming over. I thought it had no chance, but that proved me wrong. Oh god. And it also seems that they're trying to like drive in more like the Demon Souls name with the US name, so yeah, I'm hoping maybe this will bring in more people in, because I'm still kinda want it, kinda still not sure, but the fact that they're trying to boost up more of the Demon Souls part of the name is actually a good idea on their part. I definitely think it is. But yeah, I hope they kinda announce it soon, because I'm kinda wanting it, you know, kinda still debating, but if it's here in America's shores, then I'm more likely to pick it up. So I'm rambling, so moving on. Next up is that there's a new The Last of Us trailer, which shows off more of like the apocalyptic setting of the game, and like it's really cool stuff, because it like had this simple little scene basically where the guy and the girl were driving in a car, and they ended up meeting a fellow human that ended up pretending to be injured, and it was the guy trying to set up a trap for them basically. So, like, you know, it just really goes to show that this is an apocalyptic setting. You know, everyone's been going through a lot. They're willing to trick other people, you know, to survive, and it's just a really good trailer. You know, like, the concept of this game is pretty good. Like, I'm really interested in it, since I'm normally, like, not into, like, this apocalyptic zombie kind of setting, really. And then I ended up watching, like, the anime High School of the Dead, and that actually opened me up to that possibility, to that idea of situation. So now the game The Last of Us is looking more and more appealing because of that. So yeah, I have anime to thank for that, but now I'm pretty much interested in the game. Like, I basically really want this. So yeah, I want to see more of this game, basically. But of course, if you haven't seen the trailer, you can go ahead and watch it. I'll provide a link for it, so yeah, have at it. But besides that, I've already gone through all the video game news, so now it's moving on to anime news, which there's a little bit of. And basically the first news is that there's a new anime / manga announced this week. It's being called Groß und Panzer, or whatever. Pretty sure that was a German word. I wouldn't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, it's supposed to be like this military teen action battle title, which is about high school girls and about girls in tanks. Like, there's a promo video of it, and you can go ahead and watch it. I'll provide a little link for that as well, so go ahead and give it a watch if you're interested in the title. But the manga of this is supposed to be starting up in the July issue of Comic Flapper, and the anime is coming out this fall. It's unclear whether the manga is inspiring the anime is inspiring the manga, or if the two projects are independent of each other. Kind of like how My Hime was, because My Hime was a triple project, actually, where it was a video game, anime, and a manga, and none of them had anything to do with each other. The manga was not in any way connected to the anime. They made that pretty clear right off the bat. And same for the video game, which also was pretty different. Like, they had the same setting, the same character designs, and the same character names and everything, and besides that, they went off in their own direction, basically, formed their own story and all that. So yeah, it's interesting what this one will do, where Groß und Panzer, or whatever, ends up doing. So yeah, I'm interested in this because I saw the little promo video of it, and I think I'll give it a watch. If it ends up getting streamed over on Crunchyroll, then, you know, that's a sure thing. Like, totally, I'll watch it. If not, I don't know, maybe. It becomes a maybe if it doesn't. And then the other anime news is news I would normally not cover, but there is a little discussion topic I do want to cover of it, which is why I'm going to be covering this type of news, which I normally wouldn't really get into. I normally wouldn't report on it. I normally wouldn't even read what the news is. Unless somebody dies, in which case I would. But yeah, this news is that the voice actress Yuki Goto reveals in her blog that she has an autoimmune disease. And a short summary of it is that it's a disease where the immune system attacks its own body. And in her case, she says she's going to have to be hospitalized for a minimum of 2.5 months. But the part of the news that I was wanting to get into is how this is going to be affecting the new Hidamari Sketch anime season. Because season 4 of Hidamari Sketch was announced a little while ago, and she voiced one of the main characters named Hiro. And so I wonder how the show is going to be handled because of this. Like, are they going to be waiting 2.5 months for her to recover? Are they even going to release it in 2.5 months? Or was this announcement more going to be later, you know? Or are they going to get a replacement? You know, there's all these variables here that really makes me wonder how this is going to be handled for the anime itself. Because, you know, I do watch the show and I enjoy it, so this is actually kind of affecting me as a viewer. Although they're probably just going to get a replacement for her. That's the most likely outcome. But yeah, normally I wouldn't really cover news on what the voice actors are doing, but this is one that I'm in an exception for. And then after this would be the part where I talk about the channel news, but there is none. Like, I didn't even record Demon Souls this week because, again, I was so swamped with editing last episode that all my spare time was gone. So I got no updates whatsoever. I'm still gonna be going through Demon Souls until the servers are gone. So yeah, no updates for the channel news at all this week. So moving straight on to the weekly random insert this week is gonna be some edited audio that actually never makes it to the final version of my videos, because if you saw last week's weekly random insert, the Demon Souls footage, if you saw the unedited version or even the version on the episode last week, it doesn't matter. Both had this part where I just had a static image of one of the bosses I was fighting that had the message "You mad bro" on there, which I put on there for kicks. Yeah, that audio that you heard during that picture, that's the audio that I actually edit out of all my videos where I have audio. Even on this one, I edited it out as well. Basically, that's messages I give to myself, for myself, so I know what they are, what I was doing, and just to get an idea of what was going on in my head when I was recording, basically. And you know, they're just notes for me, basically, and so I'm gonna be sharing a couple of those. And because sometimes I say stupid stuff, sometimes I even like do really weird stuff, and there's also some co-op footage before the video actually records where me and my friend were actually talking to each other a little bit. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of that just to give you an idea of what I ended up doing before I even clicked the record button on the video. So yeah, here's a little sample of that, so here you go. Then again, I never really tested the range on this thing. Alright. Dude, Amy's on your quick play. Dude, Amy's on your quick play.
Amy's on my quick play.
Did you not see it?
Oh yeah, Sonic Adventure, I think.
Huh? Oh my god.
Oh, Amy. I thought you meant like Amy from Sonic. Oh, you played the demo, remember?
Why is it still there?
Because I didn't really play it that much.
Oh my god. Yeah. Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Hello people, and welcome to Let's Play Corpse Party. This is a test, and you're not ever going to fucking hear this, so this is just great. Alright, here's take 2 of Corpse Party, part 1. Hopefully my audio will not fuck up on me again. We'll see. Okay, after all those fucking recording issues, hopefully I'm ready to record part 5. We'll fucking see. Just gonna let this capture go for the beginning, even though I'm not pushing play. I'm gonna let it go. Let my audio go, just kind of chronologically keeping track of what's going on. And oh god, I don't hear any audio on the fucking computer. Shit. Okay, there, it's there. Alright. I don't know why it took so long, but god damn it. So many fucking issues, and god, it's gotta load trophies.
Alright, begin recording for Galgun Part 1. I don't even fucking know if I'm gonna go through with this or not, so might as well record it blind before the blind goes away, so yeah, here goes. Shit. There we go, and I'm choking myself again. Okay, not choking myself anymore. Alright, we should be good. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, there.
Hi, old people.
Not yet. Okay, yeah, beginning recording for Rayman Origins Part 1. I do this for everything. Oh. This is the kind of stuff I edit out.
So you
hold on.
Say like cut.
Wait, I didn't even push record yet. Oh god, I gotta go back to gotta go back to PC.
Hopefully it's still there.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Dude!
No, this is good though, because now we know that it doesn't work. but it's just not gonna work.
Wait, what if we unplug it and plug it back in?
Try that. That's crazy. No. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a hassle, but it works. So yeah, that was a little example of the kind of stuff that I end up editing out before the actual video begins. And if you're wondering, a little clarification with the Rayman Origins video was basically we were messing with the channels in order to get it to work, the inputs changing from component to PC and all that, and yeah, it was a big hassle. So yeah, we were just experimenting a lot, kind of floundering around until we got it right, because that was the first time I actually took my recording equipment outside of my own setup into somebody else's house, and yeah, that was a big learning experience. So I was just kind of flipping out every time we made just a tiny mistake, because that was just new stuff for me. I had no idea what I was doing. I was winging it the whole way. But yeah, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you come back next week. If you want to, you can leave a comment, PM me, or post in a thread of this podcast that's going to be posted on Retroids.com. You can find me on either YouTube or on Retroids. It's your choice. So that's going to be the end of the episode. Until next week, farewell.